Your life. If you start building wealth in your 30s in the UK. Most people in the UK reach their 30s and look back on their 20s with regret. No real savings, no investments, and a gap between where they are and where they thought they would be. The assumption is that it is too late, that the people who started at 22 have already won. But that assumption is wrong. The truth is, your 30s are not where wealth building ends. For most people in the UK, it is exactly where it begins, if you know the right system to follow. Setup. Here is what nobody tells you. The average person in the UK begins thinking seriously about money at 34. That is not unusual. That is the norm. The problem is not that you started late. The problem is not knowing what to do from here. In this video, I want to show you exactly what your financial life looks like at 35, 40, and 45 if you start the system today. Not in theory, in real numbers, with realistic UK-specific scenarios. Because the difference between the person who acts now and the person who waits another 5 years is not luck. It is a decision made in this decade. And I'm going to break that down for you, step by step, so you can picture exactly where you'll be at each stage of your journey. The cost of waiting. First, let us be honest about what the delay has cost. If you are 32 today and you invest £300 per month from now, with an average annual return of 7%, a realistic long-term average for a diversified index fund portfolio, by 55, you will have approximately £190,000. Now consider someone who started at 25, investing the same amount. They will have approximately £320,000 by the same age. The difference is £130,000. That is the real cost of the delay. But don't let that discourage you. This is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to start now, today, with urgency. The key is to stop treating starting as optional. The longer you wait, the more you lose out on compound growth. Every year you delay adds to that gap. The 30s advantage. But here is what those numbers do not show. The person starting in their 30s has something the 25-year-old does not: income, clarity, and the ability to contribute more. Most people in the UK are earning significantly more at 32 than they were at 22. The average UK salary rises from around £22,000 at 22 to over £35,000 by 32. That means your capacity to invest is higher. Your risk tolerance is informed by real experience. And your goals, financial security, a home, a comfortable retirement, are no longer abstract. They are urgent and real. In fact, people in their 30s are often at a stage where they are more likely to succeed financially because they are clearer on their priorities. They understand that saving and investing are no longer optional if they want to enjoy the life they desire. They can even start to see how building wealth aligns with their personal values and long-term vision. The truth is, the 30s investor, if they act with discipline, can close a significant portion of that gap in under a decade. This creates a different kind of momentum, not slower than the person who started at 25. Different. Your life at 35, if you start today. You have spent the first 2 or 3 years building what I call the foundation layer. 3 months of living expenses sit in a high-interest savings account. Your high-interest debt is cleared, and you have opened a stocks and shares ISA, contributing what you can afford, even if that is only £200 a month to begin. At 35, your portfolio is still modest, perhaps £8,000 to £12,000. But the system is running, the money is working without you, and you have broken the most important psychological barrier, the belief that starting was impossible. This is the stage where most people give up because the numbers feel small. Do not make that mistake. The snowball is small at the top of the hill. That does not mean it is not moving. Your life at 40. This is where the system begins to reward patience. If you have been consistent since 32, investing between £300 and £500 per month into a diversified portfolio. Your investments could be worth between £40,000 and £70,000 by 40, not because of a windfall, because of compounding. Here is how to think about it. In the early years, you contribute most of the growth yourself. By year 6 or 7, the returns on your existing portfolio begin to generate their own returns. This creates a snowball effect that grows stronger over time. The money you invested at 32 is now generating returns. Those returns are generating further returns. By 40, your portfolio isn't just the result of your contributions. It's the result of contributions and the power of compounding. On the other hand, the person who waited until 38 to start is only 2 years into their foundation layer. They are still at the bottom of the hill. Your life at 45. Assuming steady contributions and a 7% average annual return, your portfolio could be worth between £130,000 and £180,000 by 45. This is where financial options begin to open. The ability to reduce working hours, to take calculated career risks, to absorb unexpected financial shocks without panic. Wealth does not just mean retirement. It means options. And at 45, the person who started building wealth in their 30s has options that the person who waited simply does not. But let's go deeper. What could this really mean for your lifestyle by 45? If you have been saving consistently, you might be able to reduce your work hours to pursue passions, take time for family, or even take on that side hustle you've always dreamed of. You could begin to shift from surviving financially to thriving, having the flexibility to choose your next move rather than being locked into a financially driven decision. Now, you understand the journey. The 3 decisions to make now. Here is the system to begin it this week. 1. Clear your high-interest debt first. Any debt above 7% interest is costing you more than your investments are likely to earn. Address it before you invest beyond an emergency fund. This is not optional. It is the foundation. 2. Build a 3-month emergency fund. Keep it in a high-interest savings account, not an investment account. This fund protects your investments from being disrupted by life's unexpected events. 3. Open a stocks and shares ISA and contribute monthly. Even £100 per month is the system starting. The amount increases over time. The habit cannot wait. And most importantly, the system works. When you start in your 30s, you have an opportunity not just to make money, but to make it work for you. And while it may feel like the clock is ticking, you can start building a solid future today. The key is to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start with the system you have today. Wealth building is simple, but it requires patience and long-term thinking to truly work. If you are serious about growing your wealth, watch the next video on your screen, where I break down exactly where to invest your first money step by step.